Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, and perhaps even good evening. Thank you so much for dropping by and joining me for another super exciting session of indeed the 3D Shenanigans. It is so good to see you. Mr. Sebastian is here. The Deviant is here. Nancy's art is here. The art of art. Very good. You got to tell me more about that. Is that a play on your actual name? It's just very, very cool. Mr. Jeremy is here. That is just so nice to see you. And Mr. Brian is here as well. Zero Kelvin. How exciting. Brian had a lot of fun this morning with his car, Big Bertha. Very, very cool. That was a wonderful read actually on Discord. Thank you so much. Hey, absolutely, Sebastian. The thing is, shenanigans is one of those words that has fascinated me as well, and I think maybe that's why I picked it for 3D Shenanigans. And the first time I heard of it was actually in Twin Peaks, and I remember somebody was using that phrase, and you know, there's these people have done some shenanigans, and a non-native English-speaking woman in the show says, "What is shenanigans?" And Agent Cooper's trying to explain what it is, and he describes it as mischief, something like, you know, mischief, something, you know, like. Deviant was saying is getting up to no good, like a prank, that sort of thing. And in fact, I believe 11 months ago, this is what I've posted on my YouTube community tab. This is basically that screenshot of that woman. I think Joan Chen plays her. And this is that, and that's where that came from. And to me, it didn't mean anything either. And I was thinking, what is this word? I've never heard of that. But yeah, that is what that means. 11 months ago. How exciting is it? Very good to see you. Guys, I have bought a couple of, actually 3 Humble Bundles yesterday. The day before, I can't remember, and they are. So the first one is called the Unreal Essentials #1, which kind of hints at there might be, you know, #2 perhaps involved. I don't actually know if that's the plan, but essentially what they do is they give you for $25, they give you all these assets that are available for mucking around to cause 3D shenanigans with inside of Unreal Engine. It's a little tricky to get them downloaded, and most of them will show up in your Unreal launcher, which is nice. Some do not, like here, these animations. You have to create an account with Mocap Online and then download them there. But you will get access to all these things, and some of them are quite exciting. Some of them are a little bit, one of those things. But some of them are really, really cool, like the Northern Ireland pack, the village houses, and the medieval tents and camping props. There's also apparently drivable vehicles in this. These ones here, infinite variation sedans and ambulances, apparently drivable. I have no idea about that. I've only just bought that, so I don't really know if and how this is going to work. There's also this one here. That's the second bundle I bought, the Unreal Engine Mega Pack. I think this is on for a few more days. The previous one, that's only there for another 3 days. And this is mainly by a developer called Hive Mind, and they make these exciting little villages, a modular medieval town, day and night scene, Viking village, pirate pack. This one looks really cool. They all have little trailers. If you go in here, then you can have a look at this trailer and see if this is something for you. But often what happens is you buy these things, and then it's kind of difficult to understand, are they actually any good, and what can you actually do with these things. So I thought, hey, that's great. Let's have a look at that. I've downloaded some. I haven't downloaded all of them, and I was thinking we can do this together. And then this works exactly pretty much like in DAZ Studio. Yes, you get, usually with these things, you get a fully built scene as well as every single asset. Sometimes you only get the assets and you have to build the scene yourself. Sometimes they give you a kind of a smallish demo build, but often they require you to make the level yourself, so not everyone includes a pre-built level. So it's also a little bit more tricky than just, you know, saying download and play. That's often, you know, in Unreal Engine it's a bit more difficult. I also bought this. I'm not sure if we're going to look at this today, but perhaps tomorrow. There's a couple of games that I'm thinking might be interesting. Anno Mutationem. This one, I've played that already. It's not my cup of tea. The other one was Cloudpunk. Cloudpunk, they're all kind of cyberpunk based games, and again, $15 for the whole thing. And you also support charity when you buy from Humble Bundle, and you also support me when you buy through my Humble link with !Humble. That will get you there. Darja, how's it going? Good to see you. So I've installed some of these packages, and I gotta say, sadly, Unreal Engine 5.1 wasn't working all that well. So I'm having it verify itself right now There's a few issues I had with over the last few days, so I just wanted to let this finish and then we can delve right in. I think I might just use Unreal Engine 5.2 for this, and we'll see how it goes. Ascania, what's going down? Cloudpunk is good. I'm looking forward to that. 99%. Come on, we're nearly there. Yes, Cloudpunk is kind of a delivery game. That's what it looked like. You're driving a kind of hover car and you have to deliver packages and stuff. That's kind of cool. So good to see you all. We should have some Hoopla today. I like it. And have I used Drag GAN? I don't think I have. Thank you for asking. 99%. This is what's going to take 10 minutes. No, 100%. Look at that. It's good stuff. So maybe we can start. I've just I don't know if I've done it correctly. So usually what you do is you add one asset to an existing project from the Unreal Engine marketplace. Sometimes you also have to create one from scratch. Depends on the project. And I've just added a few to it, and we'll see what they actually look like and how they behave. But that isn't by all means not all of them. Oh yeah, I could show you. There are two ways to access your assets in case you don't know this. From the Unreal Engine launcher here, or from the Epic launcher under Unreal Engine, under Library, you scroll past My Projects, and then this here is your vault. And this is where you can add any of these things to an existing project. Sometimes they say create project. See that here? So sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you can add it to an existing project. Sometimes you can just create one and then migrate the assets over to the project that you really want to use. But this isn't great to browse, hey, what do I actually own? So there is another way to do that, and that's on the website. I don't know if I'm logged in there yet, but if you were to do that in the Unreal Engine /marketplace, then I'm not logged in, and I won't probably get logged in because my email isn't on here and it's all very complicated. But if you go to Vault, for that you have to be logged in, and then you can see all your products in slightly with larger thumbnails, and you can also go straight to the product in a new browser tab. So I'm not going to do that here, but that's another way to make that happen. Interesting, Cloudpunk. So if this Unreal Engine thing doesn't work out, we're totally going to try that. So then I think I have installed some of these, like maybe Medieval Town and Viking Village. I'm keen to have a look at those. So with that said, you're still working on it? He's still working on 5.1. Let's let him work. We're going to start with 5.2 and we'll see how it goes. Yes, Jeremy, you should really clean your glasses. You should. I do. No, absolutely. It's a new hairstyle. It's not so much a new hairstyle. It's like every 2 months I do this myself with a pair of wall clippers, and boom, it's good. It's good stuff. So thank you. I'm glad you like it. It's getting grayer and shorter, a little lighter, but it's it's still my hair, so that's good. No need for toupee just yet. I think I called this Humble Treasures. Awesome. This is what I'm going to open. I've had a quick look earlier to compile some shaders, otherwise we'd be sitting here compiling shaders for 2 hours and not getting anything done. So there we go. Did you have a good week? I had a good week. Busy week. But yeah, had a good week. It's good stuff. Cheech and Chong. My god, that brings back memories, huh? Cheech and Chong. They're both still around, aren't they? So here's what I've added to the project. So characters, I think that is just from, I used the third-person template to begin with, so these folders are there from that. Feather, I believe this equates to this product here, House on the Hill. I don't know why it's called Feather once you bring it in, but yeah, that is that. It's kind of a small little, maybe we'll start with that. House on a Hill. And in this whole folder structure, often you get something called maps. Sometimes you get something called levels, and demo could also be something. It's probably not for us. A demo, oh, that could be third-person blueprint. Could be that they've actually set up a playable demo here. Often, so I don't want to use this in a gaming context. I just want to use this for cinematics basically, and for animations that I render with Unreal Engine. Oh, that's interesting. So demo levels, they're often there so that you can have a look at the bits and pieces that are in there. Often also this is the pretty terrible. We don't have a post-process volume. Gotcha. Let's put one in, because, or switch it from unlit to lit, and then you can at least see what types of assets are in here, from large to small. So we have cliffs and that. Little grass bits and pieces, all wafty, all moving. That's nice. Overview levels are often of very varying quality, and they're really only there to showcase the types of assets you get with this. It's like fence panels, and then you would go in and assemble them and turn them into your own level, basically. Paving slabs. Yeah, this is great. I'm actually looking for paving slabs for another project. This is brilliant. Very low poly, low res foliage here. Very nice. Some houses, also nice. Don't know what's wrong with this floor here. Maybe we're going to give it a different color. Anything that is, you know, better than this. Do I have starter essentials in here as well? I guess I don't. It's still not great, but I don't really know if I do have a better material here that's not either 100% black or white. Then maybe we can look at it lit again. It's just a bit much, isn't it? Yeah, but let's leave it unlit just to have a look before we look at the level. So there's more foliage here. I like it. Lanterns, lighthouse, large lighthouse, very nice. What else we got? Oh, some crockery, I guess. Crockery, nice. And some stuff that doesn't have material. What's that supposed to be? Large rock. Yeah, that should really have real rock material rather than a checkerboard pattern, I'm thinking. But that's just me. Shovels and stuff. It doesn't end, does it? Nice planter. Oh. And this cloud in the background, I think that is showcased, I think, on the thumbnail here. Sweet. House on a hill. Let me see if I can find it on the Unreal Engine Marketplace. Sometimes we get some, there we go, we get a little bit more info about it. So this, I'm expecting that to be kind of a demo level in there as well. So we'll see, that's probably the other one. Material macros. I don't know what that means, I'm afraid. Who knows, right? It would be interesting to see how the Unreal to Unity plugin copes with the nanite assets plus normal ones. Yeah, I know zero about Unity. I didn't even know there is an Unreal to Unity plugin, actually. That is interesting. That is interesting to know. I didn't know that, Jeremy. Have you tried that out? Where do I get it? Is it on the marketplace? They do also have a sale on here, by the way. I'm thinking of picking up some animations from the mocap online people. Let's see. So if that was overview, maybe we'll open the feather level. See what that does. Yes, Unreal Engine can do all kinds of things. So it's a bit like DAZ Studio in that it's a great thing to render pre-made assets, and you can render animations in it, and also you can put gameplay logic in it, but you're not obliged to do all of that. You can just use it for animations and just render them out. It has a path tracing engine as well. Look at that, the clouds cast shadows, and this has got to be the cloud that we just saw there. Nice. I don't know if there's an animation asset in here as well. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't, but we could set one up. So ideally what I'd like to do is give my 3D Shenanigans holding loop a bit of a refresh. It's nice, it's just a little bit too dark for my liking. Let me see if I can make that a bit brighter. Yeah, auto exposure is usually what lets it down. There, bit lighter. Bit lighter is nice. I don't know if this is supposed to be water here. I don't think we're meant to see it. Or if this is supposed to be something I replace. That doesn't look like water to me. It doesn't really, does it? We have wet rocks. It could be that it relies on the water plugin. I have no idea. Some of these shaders are just not compiled. I don't know if it's me or my computer, or if it's the fact that I've put all of these things into the same project, but that would also look like rocks ideally, I would imagine. Yeah, I think something's not quite right with the compilation here. But hey, it's looking nice. And it does have a demo level, and it's got some, you know, backgroundy objects. Let me see if there's something, if they have cinematic sequences in here. It looks like they do. Sequence master, let's load that. See if they've prepared something for us here. Could be. Oops. Have they? No, they haven't. It looks like this is definitely an animation, but I don't think it's doing anything. Yep, definitely not doing anything. But I think they thought about it, and maybe there is a way that we can... What are the other sequences? There's single shots. There we go, that's one shot. Doesn't do anything though. It doesn't animate. So I don't really know what the logic behind this is. No, can't tell you. Can't tell you. Maybe I'll set up my own then. That's probably the easiest thing. Or we just have a look at another asset. So this looks pretty. What's happening over here? There's a bit of floor in here. Or maybe just a shader demo. Yeah, so I like to do things like you've seen in my holding animation there. Oh, there's a little dude. Can we play with you? That might be good. Let me see if I can. There's no controls. Okay, no worries. No worries. We didn't want to do this anyway. No controls, right? No controls. It's okay. It's okay, buddy. You can, you know, chillax again. So what I'd like to do is just set up these slow camera moves over a nice landscape, and then end up on the 3D Shenanigans logo that's maybe on the house, behind the house, something like that, and you know, do something like that. So that's why I'm looking at these assets, because that's my plan. So we'll see, we can utilize that. Next thing I'd like to look at then, French Village. Props maps and the main map. Let's have a look at that. Yep, save it all. See what we can do. Okay, so it brings over the shaders and the lighting. Okay, interesting. Interesting. I suppose you need to know, this is with all these bridges, I suppose, Jeremy, you have to kind of know both applications to a certain extent. I've looked at Unity once and it wasn't speaking to me, so I thought, okay, I'll move on then. Sebastian, yeah, good question. I think from ease of use point of view, definitely Dash Studio. Dash Studio has you covered when it comes to load it an asset, pose it, add lighting, add clothing, click a button and make a render. Unreal Engine is far more complex until you get to that point. It's also infinitely fascinating because of its real-time capabilities, and it's incredibly powerful when it comes to animations and super complex workflows. And of course you can attach logic to objects. So like you could say if a character walks through a trigger volume, let something happen. Or you could, if you don't deal with game logic, you could say if the camera reaches a certain point on the timeline, make something happen. Like, I don't know, make the sign fall down. It also has physics, it has water simulation, it has cloth simulation, it has rigging, but it's all infinitely more complex than DAZ Studio. It has a really thriving marketplace. And many of these things, they come in like this, but it's not all that easy to get something to make use of stuff like that. So it also, the other thing that you can do is, of course, put these things together from individual assets, like these houses here. If I needed to make that a bigger level, because that isn't a large level, I could just go and grab something that already exists, Alt left click and drag on there, make a copy of that object, wait for Unreal Engine to become responsive again, and then you can build your level like that. Or you open the content browser, and usually like in here you'd see meshes, architecture, and then you put, you know, the bits and pieces into the scene that you need. It's also incredible on foliage and nature items. Shame it's stopped as well. There we go, still here. Oh, there we go. So this is my copy now, so I could go and drag this out and then make tons of these things and build my level that way. This is just a very small scene, so it's not really something I was looking for. So it's important to understand then, when you buy something like this and the demo map looks as small as this, you're really meant to now spend a ton of work on building this level out yourself. So that's sometimes, if you're looking for a pre-built level that you want to use in something like a cinematic or a game project, that's, you know, it's important to understand this might not be a large enough level, so you can go and expand it, but you don't know that until you have a look at the asset. So it looks like they have a ton of cameras in here, maybe even in animation, who knows? It's also not super bright, gotta say. Yeah, for gameplay you really want the, what is the dust particles here? I think so. Yeah, dust particles. Woohoo! That's nice. What you can also use these shots for, or these types of sets, is you can turn this into a HDRI that you can then go and take into DAZ Studio and use it as a background to render that way. So sometimes it's not always beneficial to share the whole asset, but just sharing something like a HDRI might be nice. Sweet. I'd love to know what how to grab myself the particle emitter here. See if I can find something like that. There's lighting, dust emitter system. That's it. Perhaps I'll make that larger. So then if I go and have my camera here, I've got dust particles everywhere. That is nice. Always good to have a good dust particle thing. Hey, Mr. Chris, how's it going? Chris L. Cox on Twitch, and soon, perhaps, on YouTube and Kick. How exciting. Maybe you need to teach me Unity. Maybe I'm not getting the full picture, you know. Something's happened politically at Unity recently. I think at the leadership level. I'm not privy to details. Oh, there is no medieval town. That's cool. Medieval town. There's overview, night version, and the day version. Okay, let's have a look at the day version. Medieval town. I like it. I like it. But I'm not privy to the whole picture. Can you enlighten me, Jeremy? I think the guy who's in charge at what's it called? At Unity, he's a bit of a. He's made some comments that people didn't like and whatnot. Enlighten me. Corporate level, that's what I mean exactly. Oh, they went public. Oh, I see, I see. This is beautiful. So I think not all shaders are compiled. I can see leaves dropping on the floor and having that default material on there. So I'm sure this might have cinematics in there. Oh, we've got some water wheel. I love the tree effects. That is very nice. That is very nice. This thing, I think it would technically move. So if you turn this into cinematic, you'd have to animate this. Whoops. But I think they may have. Yes, they've done it. If you put it into simulation mode, there we go. Things animate. So I suppose that water wheel does something to the bellows. The bellows then goes and blows hot air on here. Then we have a little fire. That is cute. That is very cute. This might be a little bright literally everywhere. Do we have post-process volume? If we were to leave auto exposure on, do we though? I'm a manual kind of guy. Jay, you're too manual. Really, is it that bright? It's there, let's see some sky. Very nice. Could be that they've got some color corrections on there. Yeah, that's why they do it, so that when you're in the game and you move from here to there, you'd have to go and correct that. So because I'm now on manual, I'd have to go back to this, or maybe to something like this. And when you do this with this exposure histogram function, then you can have Unreal Engine essentially go and do an automatic exposure compensation. So now it goes and regulates that up and down. I suppose they have the speed factors in here as well. It goes a bit faster. Yeah, that is why they do that. So while you're walking around, the exposure kind of gets corrected on the fly. I just want to avoid things clipping out here in the clouds. Maybe that's a bit too dark. It's minus 0.5 then. So that we can admire both the indoors and the outdoors. Is there another particle emitter here? I think so, with the sparks flying. Very nice. But also, birds in the sky. How's that done? I must find out. And there's mountains in the background. Yes, how are the birds done? Well, this would be lovely if we'd had something like 3D Shenanigans assets here on the sides. Or we just move through this. Imagine you fill this with walking robots. That'd be kind of nice, like what I did with the Western animation. That would be really good. I'm thinking that would be That'd be nice. And then back here, obviously we don't ever end up here, but this is where this 3D Shenanigans sign could be. Yeah, maybe here. We don't have to go all the way there, but maybe here. That'd be good to have 3D Shenanigans with walking people. I think this is what I want to do. I like it. I like it. There is also apparently a night scene. Oh yeah, we don't want to look that way, but again, a good trick of how they would have built this level. So you don't really care about proper floor here because you're never going to see it. But if you're on ground level, you'll see some houses in the background and you see some mountains in the background, and then you have the illusion of something larger going on there. So very nice. Yes, like if the mountains wouldn't be here. Man, why is the light beam selectable? Uncool. Those are just static meshes. Yeah, gotcha. Cool. Good to know. Is this nanite? I wonder. Because I think on export, Jeremy, nanite is still... yes, it is nanite. Look at that. And on export, the nanite stuff is all... This is all taken care of by Unreal Engine under the hood, so it's not something you'd see on output. Look at that. As you get closer, the triangles get subdivided, and that's nanite at work. So as you move away, you get essentially an on-the-fly lower resolution version of the geometry. And if you had a large number of objects, this makes a huge difference. So you can see how the triangles change as you walk past the houses, and that is them becoming more high res. So the idea behind nanite is, and you can see not everything is nanite, like the what do you call it, the triangular bits and pieces here, they're not nanite. Also, the window frame is also not nanite, nor is the floor, but you could convert that all into nanite if you wanted to. Yeah, not all houses are nanite. That's interesting. It's an auto LOD system. That's exactly right. And if you don't have nanite in your level, you can have Unreal Engine convert anything that's in it. So you can go as low as, say, one triangle. You can tell it to only apply nanite to stuff that has a certain number of vertices, like say anything over 20,000 polygons you want nanite to be applied, but anything below that you don't want to touch it. But you can just set this to literally 1, and then every possible asset that Unreal Engine reckons could be turned into nanite can be turned into nanite. And it's a fully automatic process, so you don't even have to deliver LODs anymore. Nanite also does that. I didn't know that either, because not every target platform has nanite enabled. So like if you export this project as a playable PC version or whatever PlayStation version, those things are capable of doing nanite, but something like an iPhone, older version of an iPhone, might not do that. So for that, nanite creates automatic LODs in the background. Very cool, very cool. But again, we don't have to set them up manually anymore. So you can have, apparently you can grab a fully fledged ZBrush asset with 5 million polygons and import that without having to worry about performance overheads, and then just let nanite take care of the rest. Whoops. Did I just crash it? I did, didn't I? Dang! That is a shame. Now we know why Jay doesn't like Unreal Engine 5.2. Yes, that is why. What a shame. Quality, that's it, yes. On paper, it's awesome. But hey, that's good. So that was the medieval marketplace asset. I wonder if our nanite shenanigans have been saved. Be interesting to see that. That was the French, no, that was it. Medieval village. Let me open that again, see if everything is now nanite. Jay the Crash Man, yes, call me that. I'm looking forward to the night scene. See what the night scene looks like. Yeah, they put all kinds of stuff into Unreal Engine 5.2. Like one is these labels on objects in here. So now this says level, but you can barely read it because it's like 1 pixel high, and you think less clutter would be appreciated. And it's very cutting edge. So I've had lots of crashes with 5.2. 5.1 is the version that I tend to use because it's more stable for me, and it does basically everything I need. So not rushing into bleeding edge technology. I'm waiting for Unreal Engine 5.12. Was it under here? Triangles. Oh yeah, so what we've tried to convert didn't actually convert. So all the things that are not nanite are now still not nanite. That's okay. I'm fine with that. Maybe there's a reason why the developers didn't convert everything, huh? Let's have a look at the night level. See what that's like. Hey Camilla, how's it going? Good to see you, good to see you. Today I'm checking out some Unreal Engine assets that I've bought on the Humble store. And they don't all look like this. This is just a visualization method. There we go. Let Lumen kick in. Calculate some of these beautiful... What are they actually? They are fireflies, I take it. That is nice. This seems to be really heavy on my geometry, because on my computer, because it's not exactly a fluid frame rate. But I'm okay with that. So on cinematics, again, that doesn't really matter too much. That is beautiful. How did they do the birds? I need to find out. Do we have something like birds? No. It looks like they set up a lot of cameras, so maybe they have an animation here. That's possible. But I'm super happy to set up my own. That's totally fine. Blacksmith. You can search for types as well. I don't know if I can search for something like particle emitters. Maybe it's called something like Niagara, rather. FX perhaps. Niagara actor. These are all Niagara actors. Dang, that's not bad. There we go. Those are the bats. Let's have a look. Bat 2. 2 bats. Whoops. Oh, do I have... This is an editor setting that sometimes when you go and when you select a small object and then you select a large object, then the scaling of your mouse wheel, how fast you scroll, that can be adjusted. And I think use distance scaled camera speed. That's good. Let's do that. Orbit camera on selection sets. I'm okay with that. So now this reacts the same. No matter so this is now based on the size of the thing I'm selecting. And now that is just, whoops, a little easier to... How did they do that then? Excellent. Bat properties. Fascinating. So Niagara is just, I know nothing about. I know it's Unreal Engine's new particle system, but I have zero idea how anything works here. This is very different to the previous version that they had, which I think still works, but they'd rather you don't use it anymore. That's a particle effect. Who would have thought? Very cool. What else? Chimney smoke, dust, leaves. How'd you do leaves? Oops. Hello. Go away. Go completely. Leaves. Leaves. How do you leaves? Sweet. So I gotta say, I like the mood of both of the day and the night level. This would be the end of where we just got to, but I'm thinking maybe the day level showed a little bit more. So we'd come in from here, I guess, and we just drive up this marketplace road. I take it. Do we have that water wheel still? Yes, good stuff. Yes, I'm thinking we can have something like this with people. So I'd like to have people walking, or at least, you know, standing doing stuff. And then back here we end up on the 3D Shenanigans sign. I think that's doable. Perhaps not by the end of today, but that'd be good. Night scene, castle in the background and all that. Oh, you're going to Ireland. How exciting. Well, have fun. That sounds great. I've never been to Ireland. Perhaps you can visit Colm. Colm Jackson, he's in Ireland. Beauticious. Beauteous. I like it. I like it. What else? What else do we have? This was the medieval town. There's Mount Olympus. I'm not seeing maps. I'm seeing levels. We could try levels. Save selected just in case. I don't even know what I've saved. Did I save anything? I didn't save anything. Yeah, so my money so far is on the day level of the medieval village. I like that. This looks interesting. Ever so slightly grainy, perhaps. But we're not judging it. We're in heaven or somewhere. This would be another fairly easy one. There's particles flying around. Just go up here and then have the 3D Shenanigans sign stand here, and we rest on that, something like that. That would be nice. Yeah, that's easy. So again, easy to use then. That's really nice. Light, debatable. I think maybe it's a little bit bright outside, perhaps. At default lighting, sometimes people go overboard, you know. We do have cameras and sequences as well, so it's often a mystery to me how different technical artists set up their animations. So I guess I work differently, / not the way you're supposed to, I can't tell. Is there something we can do about the exposure? You can make it less dark. Solange, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate that. Welcome aboard. There's also something I found terribly confusing, is that cameras provide their own post-process volume, and you can choose to blend it in with what you're currently seeing. So if I give you an example, if I go and create my own level sequence here, I'll just call that test, and then this is my timeline object. And if I wanted to make that camera move from here to the end, I can go and use this camera icon to create a camera. But aside from the framing being totally different, the lighting is also completely different, and that greatly confused me in the beginning. So perhaps we're going to make it 18, and we're piloting that camera already. That's groovy. So maybe I'll go and set it up like this, and put a keyframe here. So if I go and This is my camera, isn't it? Cine camera actor. So cam J, I'll call it, just so that we know what that is. So if I go and eject that camera, then my lighting is different. So it looks different than in the camera. And the reason for that is that my camera's in-camera post-process blending can be overwritten by its own thing. And I think it does by default do that. Like 1 means I'm using my camera's post-process settings, and 0 means I'm using my post-process volume settings. That is also something I just thought bizarre. But hey. Now I know. So this is where I start, and then maybe 800 frames later. I end up somewhere here. Let's say. And then we'll go and correct stuff. So that from here to there. So like until here, I think I'd like to be further on the ground. So Z, I take it, comes down to here. So then we go between that and that. And then we go up. That could work. Yeah, something like that. That would work. The World Leprechaun Museum. That sounds exciting. We'll have lots of fun. I hope we're going to see funky pictures, Camilla. What else? The Messenger. Don't know what that is actually. Assets and demo level. The Messenger. The Messenger. Does that ring a bell? House on a Hill. Modular Viking Village. Pirate Island. The Messenger. This is it here. That's the Messenger. Ancient Mountain something. Let's see, huh? Indeed, there will be photos. I like it. I'm glad you posted those from the Vasa ship. That was nice. That's a massive thing. That's really, I would have loved to see that. Reminded me a little bit of the Cutty Sark in Greenwich, just larger. And I always have great appreciation when people have. You can see people handmade that, and they've crossed oceans with that, and you go, my God, really crazy. Yeah, very spectacular. I saw recently that in 2024, speaking of ships, in 2024 there's a ship that's coming out, I forgot what it's called, but there's close to 6,000 passengers are supposed to be on there. It has so many levels, it's insane. This thing shouldn't swim. It's 5 times larger than the Titanic was. Ever so slightly less luxurious. But yeah, you can imagine what happens when that sinks. Of course, that's never going to happen. For 6,000 people. Oof. Plus, oh, that's just the passengers. So plus 2,500 people working on the ship at the same time. So we're talking close to 10,000 people. Oh. Right, yeah, the details. I thought that was from the few things I've seen. The detail hand carved on the outside. You think, wow, that's just great. Really nice. Yeah, Katisaga is a fairly small ship, but it's the same kind of style. It's a wooden boat, essentially sailing boat, that they use to bring tobacco over the ocean and tea and all that. And it made so many sea miles. It's crazy cool. I'm glad they preserve some of these things, because often they just, you know, when they no longer work, they just get trashed, and you think, yeah, that's such a shame. This is nice. This is great lighting from the get-go. Also, look at that funky particle emitter. Very nice. With waterfall and all that. That's just beautiful. Could make it a little bit lighter here, or put some lights around here. And then she has a decal on her wing that says 3D Shenanigans. I love that. That's wonderful. That's how we're gonna do it. Or just the WP Guru logo. That would be it. Excellent. I'll make a note of it. Yes, perhaps a little bit lighter. Only a tiny bit. Very nice. Yeah, I think that starting point was good. There's also like things like vignettes and chromatic aberration that we can add. Let me see how that would work. Chromatic aberration intensity, huge, man. Yeah, nice. Maybe that's a bit too huge. It's more like somebody having a bad vision of something. That might be too much, but subtle. Ah, is that something that leaves this only on the edges? I think that's what that's for. So we see this now everywhere, but if I go and bring this in, then you can literally see that transition, that we only have this on the edges. That might be nice. So we only have chromatic aberrations on the edges. Also not bad. Is a light shaft occlusion. I think that is on the directional light. Yeah, I think that might be on the directional light. We have it. These are these God rays that appear there. And I thought maybe I can increase them somehow, but I guess not. Let me see if I can add a small vignette as well. It's already on there. Cool. Couple of point lights, and then we can improve what we see going towards the statue. I like that. So I think in this case, I'm going to go and not put a 3D Shenanigans object in, but this might be a good starting point here. And then we can go towards the statue, and she just has a WP Guru sticker on the wing. I think I like that. I think I like that. growing some flowers in pots. Why not? That's a good pastime. My mom is super proud of her tomatoes because it's so hot in Germany and her balcony's got all the sun. She really likes it. She's got tomatoes now. Between the snails and the spiders, you're having a great time. That is good to hear, Nancy. That is great to hear. Let's put, I'll make a new folder here and I'll call this one Cinematics. And then I'll go and do that camera thing just so that we remember what that is. Maybe I'll call it shot 1. How's that? Open that. Make camera, check. Make camera 18 millimeters. So we're almost where I want it to be. Could even be even wider than that. Let's do that. That is a great starting point for the camera. Then the only other thing I want to do is call that what it is. So cam J. And make sure we're using the global post-process volume. First keyframe. And how long is this going to be? Let's say 30 seconds. 30 seconds times 30 frames, roughly there. Oh, actually, I can just change this from frames to seconds. So that gives me a better idea. If I want this to be 30 seconds now, then that's going to be 30 seconds. Ish. Put that here. Put the camera cut track back here as well. And just to get the speed just about right. I suppose maybe in 20 seconds I want to end up here, perhaps. Yuck. I shouldn't have done that. So in 20 seconds I want to be here, and whoops, dude. And then I'll take the last 10 seconds to drone around her, and then end up on that wing over there. I think that's my plan. That, and then those 10 seconds I'll spend quality time going over here. So this is going to look a bit trash now as we go through that from here to there, but that's where we're just going to go correct that. Perfect. Yeah, this is exactly what I had kind of planned. And then, just like before with the height here, down here, I want to hit that tree further down below. So location Z, take it down. I could also do this much better with 2 viewports, I guess. Maybe I'll do that. So then I have one viewport here, and then here I can go and just mess with the camera. Here it is. Yes, and here I'd like to stay low as well. That might be groovy. Did I not take a... Did I not do... Oh yeah, I did. No, I didn't, did I? There was no keyframe there. Dang! What a shame. Below here, and also then rotate up a little bit maybe. I thought I had auto keyframing on. Is that not the case? I guess not. Location and rotation. There we go. Ooh, thank you so much, Sebastian. That is super exciting. Thank you, buddy. That is so nice when that happens. The next coffee is on you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That is so nice. I think we'll get at least one animation done today, which is really, really cool. Super encouraging. Thank you. So we go over here. We do that. We stay low. And then here, all I want to change really, after grazing the grass, kind of up here, all I want to change is the rotation. So kind of here, I want the camera to just look up. Just kind of look at. Ideally, I would have wanted them to look at that already. So I'll just go move this over here, that we don't forget what our hero is, which is that statue, of course. That'll work. And here I think we might be a little bit too high. Are we high? I can't tell. Is it high or is it just... It's not high, is it? It's more rotation, maybe. I'm just trying to think what looks more interesting. I kind of like the waterfall there. I'll put some point lights maybe behind the water so that we can see that. That's interesting visually. And then we reveal that she's actually got this WP Guru tattoo on the wing. I'm thinking that could probably be framed up a little better. Yeah, so ideally maybe like this. What would that look like? That might work. That'll work. For a quickie, that'll work. This is great. So this could be another animation done here. I could even zoom into the logo a little bit later. We can talk about the timing, but for a rough one, I think this is nice. as part of the holding loop. Oh, I could also go and put the camera kind of, you know, tilted a little bit while we're going there. Yeah, that might be nice. Little camera, just a tilt. What's it called? Kind of a Dutch angle. Not too much though, but that might just make the shot more interesting. Let me try that out. Can't be too difficult. Banking is the word I was looking for. So banking. Maybe just a little bit. And this was the X. I always forget what X actually is. Is it roll, pitch, or yaw? It wasn't that. It was not pitch. It was roll. There we go. It was roll. So then here, roll the other way, perhaps? Perhaps indeed. And then we just have a little bit more dynamism in there. Haha! Quick J save before anything, before Unreal Engine has other ideas. I'm not a sewing person either, only in 3D though. In 3D occasionally. When I've watched the inspiring Mr. Chris Cox do all kinds of magic things in Marvelous Designer, that brings out the sewist in me. I wonder, I mean, we're kind of having our teeth stuck into this now. I wonder if I should just finish this off with the decal and a bit of lighting. And then we can render this out already. I'm kind of interested in that. I mean, there are other assets, of course, that we can have a look at. But this was really interesting. So this was the messenger. Let's remember that. There's also the war camp. And there's some stylized decals here. But maybe I'll worry about those perhaps tomorrow. I'm thinking let's go and... let's keep going. I'm going to go and import that decal if I can find it and apply that to the wing. That's another interesting thing. I don't exactly know how it works. Let's see if it can work. First of all, where is it? WP Guru logo with transparency as large as. Is this large? 512. It could be larger. 2K. All right, that's larger. Is it 2K? It is. Does it have transparency? Let's find out. Okay, perfect. This may or may not have transparency. If it doesn't, I might have to give it a transparency mask. And now I'll go and create a decal actor. I think is that material. Or I just put it directly on the statue. Let me go back to my single viewport here, or at least just put this over to the side, or the other way around actually. You stay here. And we'll work on on this and a few extra lights. And we already have lights, they're just not very... They're not all that strong, are they? Yeah, stuff like that. That's already the... That's already all I wanted, really. And also get some more lights in the... by the waterfalls. Point lights are the most expensive to render, by the way. Yeah, just brighten this whole grotto type area up a little bit. She has enough backlight, I think. That might just look a little bit nicer. So decal then. Decal actor. All right, perfect. This is kind of where we want it. It might be awkward because of the angle. But let's see. Decal material. Oh yeah, we need to have a material for that. Gotcha. So could use a base material if I have one, or I could just create my own and then turn that into a material instance, perhaps. I'll do that. I'll call it base J because I don't know what other base materials are there. I'm not sure if Julia tried Elven Lab. I don't recall. She tried so many things. Is it translucent? I think I need translucent to have an opacity channel. Right, okay, perfect. And then we need a texture sample. RGB goes into here. Maybe A goes into here. Well, A is technically the alpha channel, so that shouldn't... Yeah, maybe that works. I don't really know yet. I don't know. It could work. Looks like it does work. We don't need it to be emissive. Materials in Unreal Engine take a while to compile. Does it work? Does it, Buffalo, man? Why is it green when it's supposed to be something else? It looks like the color isn't exactly changing here either, so I have a feeling I'm doing something not quite right here. Might have to look into that. Let's make it white again. Even if the... I thought that's how decals work. Last time I used decals, that was already something that was made up, so I didn't have to didn't have to worry about it. Could it be the material that's not quite compiled? Oh, it is, isn't it? I don't know then. Interesting. That sounds interesting. I've done that, Nancy. My old Kindle keyboard had an option to do that. They've since removed that. It was the kind of a very early computer voice. But sometimes when I was reading a book on the tube and I was in the middle of a chapter and then my stop came up and I had to walk 20 minutes or so, I would then go and plug my headphones in and have the Kindle read out the rest of the chapter to me. And that was okay. I didn't always understand where a sentence ended and the pronunciation was sometimes funny, but it worked in principle. So it's cool while you're really into a book. That really worked. So I thought that was nice. Yeah, don't know what's going on. Let me have a look. If I go and save this, let's see if I can. I'll just make a new level here, basic level, and try this again with a cube. Oops. So then I thought we just go and grab a decal actor, and that is flat. And on it, if we go and put and I think Amazon have removed the functionality of that because they were afraid people won't buy ebooks anymore. Which is, of course, a little bit far-fetched. Not everyone wants a computer voice reading things out, but I think it has its uses. They even said that when you're making an audiobook that you're not allowed to use text-to-speech engines to make that happen. So they don't like that. They totally don't like that. Yeah, it looks like that's not how decals work anymore, even though I can see a material on the decal here, and I don't actually know where that comes from. So that's bizarre. Maybe there's a different material that we need, like a special... This is just says decal, so I don't know. Yeah, this material here, that is definitely inside Unreal Engine. It's what they use as a thing to show you, hey, it's not nothing, there's something there, but it's just not at all what I'm expecting there. Well, Substance Painter it is then, huh? Ah, thank you so much for dropping by. Appreciate that. Appreciate the first like as well. Very good, very good. See you tomorrow, perhaps. $6:30 already. Hey, that's okay. We're gonna figure this decal thing out another time. I'm sure it's possible. I just don't know how to do it. Or I've forgotten, one of those things. Or it worked in 5.1, it stopped working in 5.2. Also very possible. Messenger, we've done the animation, that's perfect. All we need is that decal or some other way to to put that that logo on there, and we're good. What else we got here? We've got maps and levels. This one's the war camp. Let's have a look at that. Medieval village. Oh yes. Yeah, we don't need to save that. It's cool. Medieval village. Let's have a look. And then tomorrow, perhaps we can have a look at Cloudpunk. I'd like to try that game as well. Ascania says it's good. I hear good things about it. Medieval Village was just to remind ourselves. That was the medieval war camp. Medieval town. That could... Was that that? No, that we looked at that already. What's the medieval village? That could be from the other bundle. Medieval... No. Which one is it? Medieval war camp, French village, messenger. This is what we're doing right now. Don't know. It's not in the bundle. What if I download it? Also, this looks weird. Medieval village. I don't even recall. Looks good though. Once all the shaders are compiled. So yeah, this might be an asset I've accidentally put in here that I didn't actually mean to look at. I'm sure I've never seen it, so let's give Unreal Engine a moment to do all that good work here with preparing static meshes and all that. This could take a while. This could take a while. Oh, that sounds interesting. New one is Windows 11 shutters. Do you know, flatten it, put Windows 10 on it while you still can, Art. Julia's just moved computers this week from an older version to a bit of a newer system, but still Windows 10. I've had Windows 11 on my new laptop, newish laptop, and it was just a total nightmare, so I went back to 10 and it works fine now. So 11, newer isn't always better. It wouldn't boot at all. Oh, clever. Clever. That is clever. I never thought about that Microsoft might do that they just say, hey, we don't want you to run old operating systems for security reasons on the devices that you own. We would like to dictate what you can and can't install on them. Curious. So you've already thought about that. That is, that's quite crazy. I'm all for new and better, you know, if it's actually an improvement. But like in my case, it was just something really simple that the mouse, the trackpad driver was just bizarre. And I had to basically move my finger on the trackpad for about half a second for the mouse to respond and to go places. And you can imagine moving 3D assets like that. It's not going to work without you going insane. And it's annoying enough if you're just doing web browsing, but it's completely impossible to do anything like video editing or moving 3D assets. So I was thinking that's just terrible. I tried everything. It was just not having it. And the other thing I've noticed is that Windows 11 does updates, I think 23.5 hours every day, in which my CPU is being used like 30 to 40% and my battery is being sucked dry. And I'm thinking, unusable, really. Nice idea, but I don't know what part of big supercomputer my laptop was being used for, but it's just not for me. You want Windows 12 when it's released. Do you know, Doom Guy, same thing here. All my computers that I'm currently using, one of them supports, well, two of them support Windows 11. The other 5 do not. And that means I'm going to have to keep using Windows 10, keep literally riding them out into the sunset long after Windows 10 will be sunset. And that's just all I'm going to do. I never thought I was going to be, you know, like that. Yeah, you're welcome, Dada. Yeah, if you can avoid Windows 11, go do that. Oh, there we go. More assets are popping in. That is good. I wonder actually what asset this is then. Medieval, if it's not from any of these, is it from Medieval Village, huh? Website. Are we okay? Can we look at stuff here? We're okay. We know Unreal Editor for Fortnite is in public beta. Thank you for telling us. Medieval Village. Medieval Village. When did I buy that then? If this isn't part of these two Humble bundles. I mean, this also looks great, I have to say. That's interesting. When did I buy that then? I must have found that in my vault and thought, that's probably the medieval thing. But I guess it isn't. Still working on the shaders. Good stuff. Told us to avoid upgrading to 11. Oh, that is interesting. Why did he do that? I mean, security, IT guy, you'd think they know stuff. Very refreshing to hear that. Because some features in Windows 11 I really like, I have to say. There's some things I do like what you can do with desktops now. Not that it's something that you really have to have. It's a bit like the new version of Wrap, isn't it? Yes, there is a new version. Do I need to buy it? Nah, I'm okay actually. It's good to have, but not super essential. So one of those things. Yeah, Daja, you're absolutely right. This is basically why I stick with Unreal Engine 5.1, because it's not changing anymore. I really dislike it when you have an app that's complicated enough and they keep making changes that breaks functionality, or they keep introducing things that you have to find workarounds on. I'm happy to be a couple of versions behind, and you know, that's just, at least you get things working. Yes, I get that as well. The laptop that I downgraded to, it keeps telling me, hey, Windows 11 is ready. It's great. You should think about it. It's awesome. No, DAS Studio seemed to run okay on Windows 11. Like functionality-wise, that seemed to be okay. Unreal Engine as well. It's just something as basic as the mouse driver that wasn't working. So I thought, yeah, that needs needs something. And it wasn't like I haven't tried this Synaptics whatever driver or the manufacturer's updates. I've tried all that and none of it made a difference. Even some Windows hacks, it just didn't work. Right. Oh, that's you. Okay. I didn't know that. I saw God Bless You, Sean. I didn't know who that was. That's cool. That's you. That's cool. Good to know. Yeah, if you can use it, if you can stick with 10, I would stick with 10. We're still compiling stuff here, or rather preparing static meshes. I wonder what we're preparing here. If it's something like... looks like we're still working on some of the materials as well. I didn't know there was it's a huge forest here that, you know, we're still working on the transparency here. Let's not judge it too harshly just yet. Wow, that is quite the village. Quite the village. People can sleep in here, that's nice. Hey, eventually it's going to look really nice. I feel like I'm in Elden Ring or somewhere. Elden Ring, you got to infiltrate this bandit camp. Everyone's 1,000 times stronger than you. You come in with like a broken off branch, and you have to take them all on. Oh dear, you died. Oh, what a shame. I do, yes. Blender for me is a portable app. OBS I also use as a portable app. I'm not sure what you mean by register the... Oh, so right, I do it with a shortcut. The way I do it is like here, these things, they're shortcuts. So Blender is portable, and inside the Blender directory, I just make a shortcut, and that shortcut can be associated with the start menu. And it can also accept parameters. So that's how I do that. Like in my Blender directory here. This is the exe file, and this is the shortcut of it. So I'll just go and make, I think this one here you can't add to the start menu. Unpin from that. Oh, now it works. That's exciting. So I was only able to do shortcuts on the start menu, but also for me it's like when I want to launch something with parameters, it can only happen from a shortcut rather than the exit directly. That's how I handle that. I'm not sure what that might not be related to the problem that you're having though, so do let me know if that was in any shape or form helpful. So shortcut, just like a new shortcut, and then you just browse to whatever the actual exit file is, what the name is, and then maybe that'll help. Oh, really? Oh, I see, because... Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I see what you mean. So like if I had something like perhaps while Unreal Engine is doing stuff, and I had, say, this is a blend file. This is why that isn't associated with it either. So I think I may have the same problem. Otherwise, it would come up with a Blender icon. So this is definitely, oh, this is a blend 1 file. So I can just go and rename that to blend. Yes, I want to do that. That's all good. No, it knows it's a Blender version file. So I thought you did something like open with, and then you browse. Look for another app on this PC. Let's see if it works. I've never tried that out. That's a very good point, Doom Guy. So I say Blender, and I want to always use Blender 3.6 as an example. I'll just use my shortcut here, open. And it still opens it with 3.0, because it could be that 3.0 was the non-portable app. So that could be. Let's give it a... see what happens here. It could be that I have the same problem. It might be that because the app is portable and hence not registered in Windows as such, it might just flat out refuse to open apps with that. It's possible. And I don't remember what version of Blender this actually is now here. Yeah, this is, so it has worked with 3.0, but that's probably because that's the non-portable version I've got here. Yeah, so I have the same problem. That's Windows. Thanks, Windows, for being so obnoxious. Interesting. 8.1 worked, did it? Bloody Windows 10. Unreal Engine, what's happening here? You don't want to talk to us anymore? I've angered it. No, here it is. You've opened Blender. It's a competing 3D app. Ah, there we go. We see a lot more colors now. 99% there, apparently. I'm very suspicious about 99%. It's a little dark. There. Viking village with Viking tents and all. We're close. We're nearly there. 100% it reckons. I'm not allowed to move the viewport anymore, but that's, you know, that's okay. I like that when it gets done with the 100%, then it goes and does more stuff. So it was actually not 100%. It was more like almost 100%. You could have just said you're 90% done. And then you move the camera and it goes, actually, I've got other stuff to do that I've just realized. I didn't know. It's a total surprise to me. Does this waft in the wind? Yes. Oh, look at that. I've got cloth that I don't have soft-ish shadows. Let's see if we can make that happen. Yes, softer shadows. Viking village. This looks nice. Also with birds in the air. That is nice. I need those birds. Maybe this was from the previous Humble Bundle. The birds are great. So what could we do here then? Ooh, this is nice with the sun and all. Not entirely sure where the grain comes from, but I'm sure there's a perfectly healthy explanation for that. The birds. That is just beautiful. Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure where the hero asset is here. Oh, there's stuff on the outside of the village as well. My goodness. I just wanted a little bit lighter still, so oh wow, there's kind of a run up here as well. This level is huge. I had no idea. No wonder it took a little while to compile this. So I'm thinking definitely something with the sun. So perhaps we can manage to fly through some trees. And we're thinking we're in a forest and all. Whoops. What are we passing through here that makes things dark? We don't know. Let's avoid that area then. Yes, I'm thinking something through the trees that gives us something like this, and then we end up here somehow. Maybe we'll stay low. Stay low. Stay low, stay low, stay low. Go into here. It'll be a bit less bright, I'm sure. Is it cool to kind of reveal this as we come in somehow? Or go round, that's another possibility. Go round, go round, go up, like this. Sun's a good hero kind of object. But I'm not entirely sure where I would land on. So if I'd have something like the 3D Shenanigans logo, I don't know where I'd land on. Could put it in the tower here, I suppose. Sitting on the chair, I don't know. So I don't know. It's a nice asset though, nice asset. but maybe not for me. Maybe not for something I'm uninspired for now. Hey, but I'm glad we got this other animation in the bag. That was very cool. These are just animated decals. How did they make decals then? Perhaps we can have a look at that. So that's another asset here. These are decals from this pack here. Flip book variations, but I don't know how to even use them. But they'd be just, animated decals. So how hard can it be to make those? They use flip books though, so I'm not familiar with flip books at all. So maybe we'll leave that for another day. Let me go read up on how to make decals happen, because I know I have done it in the past and it was super easy. So maybe I'm just making a mistake here. The Messenger, that was it, right? Cinematics. Demo level there. Also, what happened to the music? There. Right, here it is. Load sequencer. Pilot camera, and boom. Yeah, I'd love to see this rendered out in high quality, because I think that would be good for my holding loop. Hope I haven't overdone it with the with the camera barrels here. Yes, all we need is that hero decal on her wing now. And if I can't make it with the decal, I can always go and have the actual 3D geometry kind of poke out or something. That'll work. That'll work. I'm sure I got it at a discount, Doom Guy. The village on the marketplace says it's $30. Hello? Where was it? We've both just seen it, haven't we? Where is it? Here it is. Yes, this is that. But I'm sure I got that through either this Humble Bundle or through the previous one. So it could be that it's not included in any of the current ones. But these are good, so that's quite nice. I think tomorrow I'd like to have a look at... Was it this? That could be it. It could be this, Medieval tents and camping props. It could be that. Yeah, because the whole bundle is 25. And this looks amazing, Northern Ireland. I haven't installed that, but maybe I'll have a look at that tomorrow. That looks really cool. That's a huge, huge landscape, and I'd love to have a look at that. Also, these look okay from the outside. They have interiors, these houses. They don't look fantastic on the inside, but there's a lot of them. So, good thing to try out. And then this, these drivable cars I haven't tried out yet either. So that's in this bundle, and you get these animations as well. Public park animations, conversations. So they're kind of cool. The other bundle I got was this one here, the Mega Pack. So they're both on there, and they're both $25 each. This one is lovely here. Maybe we can set that one up tomorrow with the 3D Shenanigans logo. That was nice. These ones I haven't looked at. I haven't installed them. This one was nice. This one was okay. This looks interesting. This one's huge as well. I've only seen the trailer, and that's the one that we've just turned into that little animation here. So yeah, lots of stuff to play with, and then some Decagon assets as well. Can't complain, can't complain. You just need to go to these links here. If you type in !humble, then you get a link to Humble Bundle, and you basically get into this. And then there's this one here, the Humble Mega Pack, and then there's the Unreal Engine's Mega Pack, and this one here. And this one's only there for 2 more days. And when you go into any of these, you go down here and you give them basically how much you ever want to pay. So you can just pay them $1 and then you get these 2 assets. And then if you pay more, if you pay 15, you get everything including this one here. And then if you pay 25 or more, then you get all of them. And you get to download them, and you can also add them to your Epic account, your Unreal Engine account. So quite cool. So I do like it. Thank you, Brian. Exactly. Exclamation mark humble. And it's wonderful to play with them. Good to play with them. Yeah. And as soon as I work out the decal, we're totally gonna, because this should really work slightly differently. Are we happy with the timing here? I think so. The beginning is a little bit slow, but I think that is a way we can speed that up with the curve editor here, if I wanted to. But I find that very scary. I mean, you know, any kind of dope sheet is just scary in my book, so I might not do that. I just either cut this off or, you know, do something else. Yeah, I like it. And then when you render this out, it goes, the whole quality improves quite a lot. I might put another dust emitter here, and I see if I can liberate one of the bird decals, the bird kind of nanite effects, and put them into the sky here. That'd be good. But I'll work out the decal first. And we'll see where that gets us. Maybe we can do another animation tomorrow. Like the logo as well, I need to find either my 3D Shenanigans logo, or we just need to recreate it in Blender. That should be doable, right? Maybe we could do that for the next 5 minutes. Let's try that. Because I need another hero asset. I don't think I have it anymore. That should be fairly easy. You get a ton of stuff for $25. I tell you, Daja, absolutely. And sometimes it's just so nice to delve into an asset that's more or less pre-built. These bundles are often a mixture between something really cool and something you wouldn't really use, but it's nice to have, if you know what I mean. Sometimes you don't really know what you get until you try it out. So last time I did this with a text object in Blender, and I only did something like 3D, and then we had Shenanigans and Gans. I think this is what it was. And then we just separate that into 3D objects and play with that. I think the first thing we want to change is the font. And that is, I think the font I used was called, that's a Subnautica font, which was called All Hail the Default Cube. Ah. The poor default cube. Days 1, that was the font. Days 1, I don't have it installed. Of course not. Of course not. Why would I have Days 1 installed still? We could either use a different font, or we could just go install it. How is that? Let's do that. Man. Always something missing, isn't it? Days 1 font. Not Daz 1, Days. From Da Font. But that is clearly not the font. Also, where do we download it? That was a download. That's perfect. That's not bad. Days 1. Install. Is already installed. Clearly, it is not. So let's go overwrite it. And if it is, perhaps Blender just doesn't know about it. Maybe I need to tell Blender. Yeah, because days 1 is clearly not here. Yeah, use that. Yes, look at that. It's almost what we need. Almost what we need. So I'll turn it into 3D objects, into separate 3D objects first, and then we can apply good stuff. I suppose the first thing is kind of the spacing. Where was that? I'm sure I've seen that. Size, share, position, small caps. That's none of that is what I mean. Bevel is good, but that only makes sense if we extrude it. So maybe try extrude. That's already, yeah, I meant that. That's not bad. How's the bevel? Not what I meant, Blender, not what I meant. Or maybe like that. That's a good bevel. Or we just make a bevel ourselves. That's maybe after the fact. So maybe we do not do a bevel here. I just turn this into geometry first. I suppose I could just deal with the spacing later. Line spacing, there we go. "3D Shenanigans." I can see it working. Let's go convert it into geometry. How do we do that again? Convert to mesh. Ding. Keep original, because you know I like to keep that around. Okay. And then maybe we'll have a look at the awful geometry, which I'm sure we should try to better somehow. Choosing fonts is a nightmare. I totally agree. And choosing the right font is just, you know, it's difficult. It's tricky. So while this is nice, it'll be, if I ever wanted to put a proper texture on this, this is a terrible UV map. And didn't I have an amazing tool that would make this all better? I think I have. I just forgotten which one it is, nor can I see it installed. It wasn't Rigify. Was it in, it was in edit mode, wasn't it? Pretty sure it was. Was it in, it's got to be edit mode. Do you remember the plugin I mentioned, Brian, a while ago? I don't recall if that's installed here or not. It probably isn't. Make manifold. Ooh. Maybe I'll go deal with the separation and just setting up the logo first, and then I can clean up the geometry later. So I want to go and split all these things out here. Oh, I see. So that's number 1, P selection. Oop. P selection. P selection. And then, well, you're already separate, so there we go. B-mesh clean, that could well be it. Yes, that sounds about right. B-mesh clean, I think that's what I mean. I don't know why that's no longer installed. Or maybe it is installed and I haven't got it enabled here. B-mesh clean, that was it. Exactly, Brian. It's totally not on here. Damn you, Blender. glad I've got all the other old versions of my of stuff on my computer still. So I'm going to go rotate these to stand up, so RX90, like so, and then I think this is kind of what my logo looked like, and then we do the same with that, RX90, and then this one's also RY90, RY minus 90. This is somehow kind of how it goes, I think. And then this is just larger. But only in one direction, so only in the, is it the XY plane? So S, is it Shift Y? Is that what it is, isn't it? Yes, so it's the same, the correct thickness here. Yeah, that's the logo. Perfect. I love it. Let's put some... I like the idea of maybe putting some kind of... Not so much a bevel, but something like an engraving. That might be a better job for Substance Painter, I'm thinking. But while we're here, let's go save it. First of all. 3ds logo 2023. Because I'm sure I have an old one, but I don't recall where that was. Ah, yeah. Selecting edge loops was already a total nightmare. That's the wrong side, isn't it? Dang. This is where the problems start. Okay, good. So now if I say Control B, are we getting a bevel? No, now we're getting a total nightmare. Yeah, that's uncool, isn't it? Is it because of some setting or whatnot that I should have? Taking care of transforms and whatnot. Possible. It's the wrong side again, man. I foresee all kinds of problems. If I wanted to like inset something that I could make this a bit more interesting, that's going to be also a nightmare, isn't it? I mean, it works actually. Well, that's nice. How about the edge loops then? Control R. Yeah, no, that isn't working either. Edge loops, clean edge loops, that's not working. Oh, it works. like this. That works. So I could do that. Add edge loops that way. But it's just destroyed geometry, isn't it? Remeshing is not good. But B-Mesh Clean, I'll dig that out. That is, I don't remember where I got that from. Or if it's still in an old version of Blender. And maybe 3.2. Let's try it out. Yeah, it's always the question, how much work do you want to put into these types of things, isn't it? I think I'll stick with this because I've had this logo for a while. I just can't find the old one anymore, which is just such a shame. Car teleporter is here. Oop. Does the, how about B-Mesh Clean? Here it is. Perfect. Let me try that. See if I can. See if I can save this and then open this file in the older version of Blender. Ooh, that's gonna be advanced. Oh my god, it works! Imagine Adobe doing that. Imagine Adobe doing that. Oh no, sorry man, this was done with 0.01 versions after the previous one. I can't possibly open that and make it backwards compatible. You fool. Thank you, Adobe. Merge by distance. Let's see what the statistics say. This is my object now. What happens if I go and say ding? Does that look better? No, it looks the same. Make it better, man. Limited dissolve. Let's do that. Aha! Ways better. That we can work with. B-Mesh Clean, Brian. Thank you so much. Limited ding dissolve. Ha 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 ha. Do we actually still have front faces? Just out of curiosity, we don't, do we? Not anymore. You know, Nancy, that would be really good to have a hand-designed logo. That would be much better. And we fill that, and then it looks like trash. I suppose this is why the limited dissolve resorted to not doing that. This is just because it's these are not triangulated, though, right? I'm thinking. Yes, because if we do triangulate it, it looks better. We avoid issues, but it also then looks terrible again. Oh, that's why it's done it. That's why it's done it in the first place, hasn't it? Because sometimes it's just not so nice. Oh, dang. The good thing is there's other ways around it, and I don't know if we're gonna. Let me put this into a collection here. Make new collection. In fact, also put that there. Disable. This collection 1 can also be disabled. And this one is like the logo mesh. And this one here we'll call logo font. And then we'll go and duplicate that. Logo mesh v2. Let's see if we can use a modifier to just remesh it. Yeah, that looks great. Let's use that. Also not bad. We'll make it a pixelated version. Let's try to keep it sharp here. Oh, 3 depth and then do this. I like to see the wireframe on that, what it comes up with. Not bad, so this geometry would look much better. It's perhaps a little dense, so if we make it, this might be a little, that plus subdivision might not be terrible. Let's try that. So 5. Apply. That plus subdivision. Ay, caramba! But that's because it's also not smooth shaded. And if we put a couple of edge loops in there to hold this in place, or just make it describe that better. Edges are sharper. By all means not fantastic and ideal and awesome, but hey, so we can even dissolve these, I think. Dissolve edges, because we don't need them anymore. Yes, that's Jay's new logo. Perfect. Hey guys, I think we're gonna go and finish this off tomorrow. I think maybe this is a good way of doing it. So do the logo, find out more about decals, and I'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Color in this logo and, you know, bring up some funky animations. I'm sure there's other assets that I can have a look at for you as well, and we'll see what we do. If we have time for Cloudpunk, we'll do that. Other than that, have a wonderful rest of Saturday, and I hope I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here, my friends. All the best. Bye-bye.